Hey, it's Vaughn here at your jazzdrumschool.com YouTube channel. Aloha, hope you're doing well. So today I'm going to share with you 6 tips for beating the beginner drummer blues. So we start off playing drums and we're real excited about it. We're getting into it and we hit a brick wall. And that brick wall is the lack of motivation. It's really hard. We start to figure out, hey, this isn't going to be as easy as I thought it was going to be. Well, I'm going to give you 6 tips that are going to help you overcome that and break through that brick wall so that you can get to the good stuff. All right, so the first tip is to play everything new that you want to learn. Now read my lips. 1 count at a time, out of time, every time. The reason we want to do this is because we want to wire our brain the right way the first time. When we don't play things that way, it's kind of hit or miss. We might get it or we might not. And more often than not, we're not going to get it. And what we're going to be teaching our brain is how to play things the way we don't want to play it. Basically, how to play mistakes. And this is incredibly frustrating because what happens is then you have to go and unlearn all of those mistakes to play it the way you want to play it. So don't do it that way. Do it the way I'm telling you. And what we're going to do right now is practice this approach with you. And we're going to take exercise number 6 from my 15 jazz coordination exercises from my jazz drums comping course. And we're going to break it down 1 count at a time, out of time, together. All right, so what do we got there? If we look under count 1, we have a ride cymbal. Let's play ride cymbal together. And then we're going to play on the and of 1. We're going to play a snare drum. On the of 1, we're going to play another snare drum. On count 2, we're going to play ride cymbal and hi-hat. On the and of 2, we're going to play snare drum. On the of 2, we're going to play ride cymbal and snare drum. On count 3, we're going to play ride cymbal. On the and of 3, we're going to play bass drum. On the of 3, we're going to play bass drum. On count 4, we're going to play ride cymbal and hi-hat. On the and of 4, we're going to play snare drum. And on the of 4, we're going to play ride cymbal and bass drum. Now, I know in the beginning it's going to feel like an eternity learning to play this. But trust me on it. Because what's going to happen is little by little, as you go through it that way, a few times through it, naturally tempo is going to start to creep into your playing. And you're going to kind of start putting it all together naturally, okay, without the mistakes. Now let me play it for you a little faster and you can kind of see how everything fits together. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, now. So it's a snappy little exercise and pretty practical for playing jazz drums, especially in a comping context. So if you want to learn anything, take it 1 count at a time, out of time, every time when you're starting out. All right, so my second tip is for you to set goals for your practice. Goals are going to give you the direction you need and the focus you need to get things done and really improve your drumming. If you haven't yet worked with goal setting or don't know how to write good goals for your drum practice, I encourage you to check out my book, Gifted, at my store. It'll teach you everything you need to know. All right, tip number 3. You want to organize your practice, okay, with your goals. So take those goals that you write and use them to structure your practice and stick to it. Pun absolutely intended. You definitely want to stick to it. Don't deviate. Meaning, don't go into your practice and start noodling around and playing all kinds of stuff on the drums that you already know how to play. You're not going to learn the new things that you want to learn. Stick to your goals, and I encourage you to put the hard stuff first in your practice. And the reason for that is because you have the most energy and the most focus at the beginning of your practice. And what you want to do then is graduate it down so that you start with the hard stuff in the beginning and you end up with the fun and maybe easy stuff at the end. So maybe in the beginning you're focusing on some coordination stuff or hand technique, and by the end of your practice you're just really playing, maybe playing with some recorded music or just kind of grooving around the drum set, working on fill ideas or being creative with your drum soloing. All right, so tip number 4, check your expectations. If you're expecting that you're going to start playing drums and learn how to play jazz drums in 1 to 2 months, and you're going to be out there gigging, that's not going to happen. You're going to have to take some time and care, because it's more than just learning, say, the coordination of a pattern or a fill or some of the key concepts of jazz drumming. It's really about getting it into your bones so that it will actually come out in your playing in music situations. Tip number 5, you want to play with other musicians. You need to get out there and play with other people. At bare minimum, you need to play with some really good tracks that have real musicians playing on them. Jazz is a human experience, so we can't kind of sit in our practice room and expect that all that we do is going to get us to be able to play with people out in the real world. We really have to get out there and play. So I encourage you to go to jam sessions. Shoots, organize your own jam session if you don't have one in your town. Get together with friends who might be wanting to learn how to play jazz also. And really just try to put yourself in situations where you can interact musically with other musicians, especially in a jazz context. Now, the last tip I have for you is to get help, okay? If you need some support, you need somebody to kind of guide you in your jazz drumming, that's all right. I know a lot of drummers that say, oh, you know, I've kind of self-taught, or I did it this way. Well, let me ask you a question. If you wanted to learn how to play baseball or basketball, would you just kind of try to teach yourself, or would you probably get a coach, somebody to help you do it? You'd probably get a coach. So drums and learning music is no different. Find somebody who already knows how to do what you want to do, and somebody who can really teach you that. Now, sometimes there are drummers that are really, really good drummers, but they don't know how to teach what they play. Find somebody who can do both and learn that way. It's going to be a heck of a lot faster. Any of us who've been drumming for a while, we know what it's like to start off and to be frustrated, and you can hit that brick wall pretty fast. So I'm here to help. All right, I don't want you to feel like you got to do it alone. I've got some great courses for you at jazzdrumschool.com. I've got online private lessons that we can do. And please feel free to check out some of my other videos here at my YouTube channel. Now, if you're just starting off and learning jazz drumming from the beginning, I encourage you to check out my beginner drum lessons pack at jazzdrumschool.com. In there, you've got my intro to jazz drumming course and my mini course on jazz drum comping. You're going to get all the nuts and bolts and a lot of stuff you need to get up and swinging fast and to start playing with other musicians. Thanks so much for watching this video, and if you haven't already, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel. Be sure to like the video if you like it. That helps it get around YouTube a lot easier. And drop a comment. Let me know if there's anything else I can do to support your drumming. Take care and keep swinging, my friend.